at the scene. McRae now facing a murder charge. Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump is now questioning whether Senator Kelly Ayotte should be in office. Ayotte has denounced Trump for his criticism of the Muslim parents of a fallen U.S. Army captain. Referring to Ayotte in an interview with the Washington Post, Trump says the country needs fighters, not weak people. The state Republican Party is standing with Ayotte, calling her a strong leader and an independent voice for New Hampshire.
I think that was the biggest smile that I've had in my face in a really long time.
That's U.S. Olympic swimmer Michael Phelps on carrying the American flag into Friday's opening ceremony in Rio. The most highly decorated Olympian of all time announced as Team USA's flag bearer for the Summer Games.
Obviously a huge honor and something I'm looking forward to.
Phelps has won 22 career medals, including 18 golds. Phelps made history at the 2008 Beijing Games, winning gold medals in 8 events. He was selected by a vote of his fellow team members to carry the flag on Friday. For USA Radio News, I'm Chris Barnes.
We're here to fix the machine.
Battlefield Live.
You're listening to the Battlefield Live with Chris and Trey from Lanterns Radio Network, the Battlefield Live radio program. Want to thank you for joining us on the Battlefield today. Make sure, if you have not yet, reach out to us on Twitter. You can follow us at Lanterns Buzz, or you can follow me at Paul Revere again. You can follow Trey at T-Rob Radio. Also, you can find our podcast on Spreaker.com, SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, Google Play, and Player.fm. So you can find us all over the place, folks, and I assure you that you're going to find that the 2 hours that we're on every night is not enough time to finish everything we talk about, as did last night. So with no further ado, Trey, you there? So Trey is not quite in yet. I can't see the glorious, wonderful face of Trey on the cam yet.
So no, that's all right. I mean, as long as you hear the voice, that's really all that matters.
So you're leaving me hanging, dude.
No, I sent you a Facebook message, but I guess I'm looking at you staring at your computer screens.
What happened to your camera, dude? I can't get the
know.
signals. I mean, how is a pitcher supposed to pitch to the catcher without the signal to know what kind of pitch to give?
Well, I don't want to start the show off explaining pitching and catching. Okay, I'm just saying it's not a.
I understand this is a different day and age.
It's a different day and age.
Pitching and catches means something totally different.
Totally different.
So. So other than that, how was your day today, dude?
Pretty much sucked like normal.
Such an optimism.
Yeah, I mean, it's just long and tedious and a lot of work. Right now I'm putting in 10 to 12 hours, a day, and probably will through the month of
10 to 12. That's like the first half of my day.
I know. I'm trying to keep up with you. I mean, you're making me feel and look bad, and by how hard you work and all that you do. So I'm just randomly picking up stuff. I started carting around in the back of my vehicle, just in a push lawnmower, and run out and just cut only a part of the grass, but just go out there and cut grass now in the middle of the day, just to feel like I'm really accomplishing something. Basically what I'm trying to do is
Don't take it personally, dude.
No, I don't. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to stay out of the blast field, if you will, of Clint Eastwood.
The blast field? What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean Clint Eastwood, Dirty Harry himself, he's out there dropping bombs on society right now.
Did he? I haven't paid attention the last half a day.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid him. He called, basically he said that the generation needs to effing get over it. So
wait, the what?
Meow generation.
The meow generation.
So basically he used a very derogative word that I'm inserting a cat sound.
Inserting?
I'm inserting a cat sound,
Is this has to do with some type of genitalia?
It could. It definitely could. And so, Clint Eastwood and his son who apparently, according to the blog and the Twitterverse, Clint Eastwood's son is very dreamy. That's Scott Eastwood I'm referring to.
Very dreamy.
Very dreamy when you look at
him.
Cute
or something?
Apparently he's pretty good looking. And but basically, he's basically saying that this current generation, here's a quote from Scott. Scott said this was an interview with Clint and Scott Eastwood, kind of a no holds barred for Esquire magazine, and Scott Eastwood said, "My father's definitely old school. Like is Captain Obvious doing this interview? No one ever thought Clint Eastwood was not old school, right? But it says he raised me with integrity, to be places on time, to show up, and I don't mean to offend anyone listening, but Clint Eastwood taught his son to work hard."
Well, that's good.
No, I agree.
I would expect nothing less from Clint Eastwood.
But I'm looking for the specific question. But basically, it looks like some kind of societal question that was posed.
So basically, the way I'm seeing this now, it says legendary actor and film director Clint Eastwood fell short of endorsing Donald Trump for president, but acknowledged the Republican presidential nominee is onto something for not being afraid to speak his mind. This is his quote.
Right.
He's onto something because secretly everybody's getting tired of the political correctness. Kissing up to Mr. Eastwood, or I should say, for kissing up, is Mr. Eastwood 86 told Esquire magazine, of all places,
right,
in an interview published Wednesday, that the kiss generation we are right now, we're really a generation. Everybody's walking on eggshells. I can't agree more.
I couldn't disagree less.
Yeah. Is that the commercial?
Yeah, basically. But he says, look, he says, we see people accusing people of being racist and all kind of stuff. And when I grew up, those things weren't called racist. They were called punchlines. Oh! And he said, when I did Gran Torino, he said, even my associate said, man, it's a really good script, but it's pretty politically incorrect. And I said, good, let me read it tonight. And it threw it on his desk, and I said, I want to start doing this like immediately. So then Esquire asked him in the interview, so what is the generation? And he says, all these people that say, oh, you can't do that, or you can't do this, and you can't say that, I guess it's just the times. And then they specifically ask him about Trump, and you already covered that. Basically said, yeah, I think he's on to something, but he's not endorsing. He said, I haven't endorsed. Last person he endorsed was a chair, if I remember it right.
Yeah, that was pretty sad, actually.
It was a little disturbing. It's like, oh, who let old Clint out of the retirement home? You know.
So with that being said, I don't know if you read the comments or heard the comments from Judge Jeannie Pirro.
Oh, Jeanine Pirro. Yeah, no, I didn't read anything about her, but
all right. So she's
got
a
some
comment
good
about
opinions.
Black Lives Matter. All right. She says, as a prosecutor, I prosecuted cases of cops not doing their jobs, but there is a social contract in this country, and we have vigilant justice if we don't follow it. That means the police do their job. You don't like it, or you don't like what they do, you go out and make a complaint.
Do we have? Wait, did she say we have vigilant justice or vigilante?
Vigilante justice.
Okay, that's because that's key. That's a key part to that. Day. That's all right. Yes. I'm with you.
So you don't go out and kill cops like 5 in Dallas because they're white. So she was basically, and let me tell you, she got excoriated from the left-wing media for this comment.
Look, she is tough, dude. Really, she is really tough.
Yeah, she is. So
my mother-in-law, if my mother-in-law is listening right now, which I believe she is,
right.
That's one of her favorite shows on Fox is Judge Jeanine.
Really?
Oh, she is so opinionated, but she's just strong and she comes from a legal mind, so she lays these really strong opinions out real succinctly and real organized. And
is she like a female Mark Levin?
Except not with an annoying voice.
See, I totally don't even get the voice anymore.
No, I know. You get over it because you love the content, and I'm the same way. Like, you know how Napolitano, how he is? She's more of like a female version of Judge Napolitano.
Okay. So,
which I kind of put them on a little bit, not on a higher level or a lower level than Levin. Just
right.
on they both bring incredible, strong suits or whatever. So, all right, that's our music. First segment in the can. We are done. Only 7 more to go, and so we'll take our first break. When we come back, Chris and I will pop open the cork of yummy, tasty topics, and we will pass them back and forth to each other, drinking and eating after each other. We might pass Zika virus tonight on the radio, but you have to stick around to find out. 504-556-9696. This is the Battlefield Live with Chris and Trey on WGSO 990 AM.
Millions of people are asking the question, what has happened to America? Is there hope? What will our children and grandchildren face in years to come? America, there is hope. The same hope expressed by the colonists in 1607 when they placed a cross on the Virginia shore, proclaiming, "In God we trust." In God we trust. It's still our hope. It's our future. It's our national motto. Go to ingodwetrust.com and get your hope today.
Did you ever think that the presumptive Republican nominee for President of the United States would have similar policy and, suggestions as the Democratic Socialist candidate?
I never thought that a Republican candidate for president would hold both liberal and conservative policies at the same time.
Right.
I mean,
like
this is totally
gyroscope.
fascinating. Visit the website battlefield.buzz for the latest from Chris and Trey from the Battlefield Live radio show.
Experience Augie's, formerly Augie's Glass Garden, now in Harahan. Augie's, truly a gorgeous place. Where can you go to experience super jumbo soft-shell crabs for only $14.95 and the area's largest seafood platters? Private parties, receptions, reunions, and events of all types can be handled at Augie's. 6005 Jefferson Highway in Harahan. Call for reservations 733-3000. Check us out on the web, augiesnola.com. Join us at Playmakers Indoor South every summer and holiday for our multi-sport camps. $25 a day, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. with before care from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. and after care from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. available for $5. Soccer, flag football, basketball, wiffle ball, relay games, lacrosse, and much, much more. Plenty of spots available. Contact Playmakers Indoor Sports, 6124 Jefferson Highway in Harahan, or call 504-305-6078 or sign up today at playmakersindoor.com.
Are you looking for a reasonable and affordable way to enhance your image or your company's image on the internet? Are you looking for ways to leverage internet technology to streamline your business? An upgraded website or web application is the way to go. Vast Virtual Solutions is a technology company that specializes in developing websites that operate on the cutting edge with the ability to save you and your business time and money. Visit vastvirtual.com for a business quote today. vastvirtual.com.
Hey folks, this is Jeff Cruair. Join me at 7 a.m. till 11 right here on WGSO 990 a.m. for Ringside Politics with a Punch. We're going to be bringing you great guests. We'll discuss the latest hot topics and, of course, taking your phone calls. On Thursday, Ringside All-Star Nick Verrecchio will check in with us. We'll get the latest on the 2016 race. And also Louisiana State Treasurer John Kennedy will discuss our state budget. All of that and more right here on Ringside from 7 to 11 on WGSO.
Yeah! That's some great stuff right there, dude. I don't see how you don't get in all jived up on some Smashing Pumpkins. Just saying.
I like pumpkin bread.
Dude,
I like pumpkin spice
right
muffins.
Yeah, I had 2 slices of pizza tonight.
Dude, I had 4 today.
4 slices of pizza?
Yeah, but it was Pizza Hut skinny pizza. No, what are you laughing about? That's a real thing.
Whatever.
No, it's like really thin. First of all, it's really thin crust. Second of all, it's got like half or 3/4 less cheese than what it normally has. And listen to what I had on there. Roasted peppers, garlic cloves, raw spinach, chicken, and there was something else spicy. Bell peppers. So that was.
That's like saying that I have a classy hooker. Just saying, it's a freaking skinny pizza. Think about that.
No, you're right. I mean, but listen, the reason I did that is because I'm 4 days away from hitting cycle 2.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and I have I got 4 days, and in 6 weeks I have not gained a pound of all that weight. 42 pounds that I lost.
I've lost weight since I stopped.
That's good. No, because what happens is I think like your stomach shrinks, and so you don't eat as much as you did before the 40 days.
Right.
And so you're taking in less calories just by default. But anyway.
So dude, did you get wind of what the Pope said about Islamic and Christian violence?
No, only thing I heard about the Pope that I was kind of finally happy that somebody with some sort of like international credibility, and albeit it's the Pope still, but
I know you're a big Pope fan.
Well, yeah, I'm more of a fan of like Pope on a rope. But
I know you put like the hat on and you walk around the house in your underwear and all that.
Well, that's just when we have Pope pourri in the house. But listen, he said, and I don't know if this is in the same speech or whatever, but
see you running out in front of me again.
He said he thinks it's horrible that adults tell children that they can choose their gender. I was happy about that. I was like, finally, this guy says something that's good for humanity.
Catholic Church.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, can you please say something that sounds kind of popish or halfway Christian or something that reflects something in the Bible?
In other words, not like buying into the material ideology.
Yeah, like I don't need you spouting off Marxist rhetoric, while you're rocking the 3-foot high hat,
All right, so this is a twofer, okay?
Okay.
This is like knocking in 2 hole-in-ones on one round of golf.
Man, if only we had like a Pope
or
double time Pope
or like,
sound
like
effect.
A double scoop Sunday. That's what this is. Or like maybe hitting 2 birds with 1 stone.
Okay.
I mean, we can think of any more of those type of analogies.
A double play.
A double play, yeah, I like that. All right, so basically during a press conference on the papal plane this weekend, okay, the Pope said that he has a hard time distinguishing between Islamic and Christian violence, because there's so much Christian violence out there.
God, dude, the Christian violence is really starting to get out of control.
It's out of control. And because there are violent Catholics as well. I mean, tons of Catholic violence out there in the name of Jesus Christ, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how many times have you heard, Allahu Jesus?
Yes. Is that how it would go?
I think it's something like that, yeah.
Well, I hear people say Jesus all the time.
So yeah, but usually their thumb is like throbbing when they usually call out Jesus' name.
Yes.
They've smashed it with. No, that's true. That's violence. That's self-inflicted violence.
It's kind of relative, I guess you could say. So basically, he cited a man who killed his girlfriend to justify his reasoning. So check this out. This is a quote. He says, "If I speak of Islamic violence, I'm not sure if I can use some kind of papal." Where is he from? He's from
he's from Argentina. But his family is Italian, so he's actually Italian.
He's an Italian.
He's an Italian Argentine. Yeah,
Argentine. That's right. So he says, if I speak of Islamic violence, I must speak of Catholic violence. I mean, obviously, you have to have equality here, right?
Right.
Little radical egalitarianism. Do I hear some voices in the background?
Oh yes, man. You were quoting from the Pope, so I figured we get a little bit of the Sistine Chapel choir.
I like that. I've actually been in the Sistine Chapel.
Have you really?
Yes, it's pretty nice. Good paintings in there. So
they say there's a lot of nudity in the Vatican City. Is that true? Like in the artwork,
a lot of naked, statues and stuff.
Is it true that they sell in a gift shop? They sell just the genital part of the statue of David, and like people buy them up like it's some kind of shirt on Bourbon Street. Is that true?
Actually, what it is actually you put it on your face and it wraps around and looks like a nose.
Stop. Really?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say. They're going ham in the Vatican City.
David must have been pretty embarrassed because his junk is kind of small.
Yeah, but that's only because he's like gigantic size, right? Like,
I think whoever was doing the sculpture was doing it in the winter.
Oh well, no,
he was struggling.
See, I heard that like millions of people a year they go up to that big old David statue and they take like pictures, but the picture that they take is like of David's junk.
Well, yeah, I got in trouble for hanging my jacket on it.
Stop. I thought you said you went during the winter.
I did go in the winter.
So then you could have hung a jacket on it.
I went in April, so it was kind of chilly on some occasions.
See, that's the reason that the statue looks the way it does.
But when I went, I was kind of like on the Da Vinci Code type of.
So you were looking for like all the Illuminati and
I did,
and
you can actually see if I ever
Michael Brown stuff.
I was taking a lot of pictures inside of St. Peter's Basilica, which is absolutely a beautiful basilica, by the way. And all the sculptures. My favorite sculpture is Apollo and Daphne, which my wife absolutely hates.
Is that not amazing though? That that's in the Sistine Chapel?
No, Apollo and Daphne was in the Borghese Museum actually.
Okay, but still it's still in Vatican City, right?
No, it's north of Rome.
Okay,
Borghese Museum.
All right, well then I'm not going to impugn the Vatican then for having the sun god Apollo statue inside their Christian facilities.
They did have some pagan type of things here. But at the Borghese Museum is absolutely beautiful. Apollo and Daphne is the most beautiful statue in history, in my opinion. And, of course, they had this garden out front, and it was the most beautiful tulips I've ever seen since Angelina Jolie.
I'm not even touching that.
I wouldn't touch them. I get a whole bunch of trouble with my wife if I touch them.
So, did this Pope say something? You said it was a twofer. Did this Pope...
It was a twofer.
Did he say something good?
No, it's a twofer. And if I would mention one thing that was bad, it would have to be something else bad. So basically, he was saying that Catholic violence it would be the same as Islamic violence. It was equality in the violence there.
Was he just pandering?
Well, I mean, he's a socialist. So, I mean, he's a social. He's got to be a socialist before he's a Catholic, because socialism and Catholicism or Christianity don't typically go in the same bucket, if you know what I mean.
Well, there's a lot of liberation theology and social gospel and the Methodist Church who would disagree. But
so this is another comment. I mean, here's the twofer. So terrorism grows when there are no other option, and when the center of the global economy is the god of money.
So he's going all anti-corporate, anti-capitalism.
$1 million.
Right.
Yeah, he's going all anti-corporate.
Meanwhile, the dude lives in
the richest place on the whole planet.
Right. It's amazing.
But the thing is here it is.
Sell your crap and fundamentally redistribute it then.
That's my point. So listen to this statement. Let's dig into this one sentence here. Terrorism grows, so is a reaction to something, right? When there are no other options. So if you and I, Trey, all of a sudden we don't have any place to go, we decide to blow ourselves up and kill people.
Isn't that the same thing, though, Chris, as a mother saying, I couldn't do anything else but be a stripper? I mean, that's how I got to pay my bills.
Yes.
All right. We'll talk about that more when we come back. 504-556-9696. It's the Battlefield Live with Chris and Trey on WGSO 990 AM. Experience Augie's, formerly Augie's Glass Garden, now in Harahan. Augie's, truly a gorgeous place. Where can you go to experience super jumbo soft-shell crabs for only $14.95 and the area's largest seafood platters? Private parties, receptions, reunions, and events of all types can be handled at Augie's. 6005 Jefferson Highway in Harahan. Call for reservations 733-3000. Check us out on the web, augiesnola.com. Playmakers Indoor Sports is a state-of-the-art indoor turf facility offering leagues, drop-in play, field rental, parties, camps, clinics, and a whole bunch more. Play includes adult and youth in soccer, lacrosse, flag football, and more. For more information, go to www.playmakersindoor.com. Like us on Facebook at Playmakers Indoors South. 6124 Jefferson Highway, Harahan, Louisiana, 504-305-6078.
Are you looking for a reasonable and affordable way to enhance your image or your company's image on the internet? Are you looking for ways to leverage internet technology to streamline your business? An upgraded website or web application is the way to go. Vast Virtual Solutions is a technology company that specializes in developing websites that operate on the cutting edge with the ability to save you and your business time and money. Visit vastvirtual.com for a business quote today. vastvirtual.com.
Did you ever think that the presumptive Republican nominee for President of the United States would have similar policy and suggestions as the Democratic Socialist candidate?
I never thought that a Republican candidate for president would hold both liberal and conservative policies at the same time.
Right.
I mean,
like
this is totally
gyroscope.
fascinating. Visit the website battlefield.buzz for the latest from Chris and Trey from the Battlefield Live radio show.
USA Radio News with Chris Barnes.
The White House says $400 million that was sent to Iran was not ransom for the release of 4 Americans back in January, but Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump is ripping the Obama administration for sending that cash, Trump calling it a disgrace.
We've been humiliated when they took our sailors. They forced them to their knees, and the only reason we got them back is because we hadn't paid the money yet.
State Department spokesman John Kirby also getting testy when it was suggested that that payment was ransom for the release of those 4 Americans.
You can believe us, who talked about this on camera and on the record since January, or you can believe an unnamed anonymous defense official from Iran. You choose who you're going to believe to be more credible.
Wall Street closes higher, the Dow up 41 points, the Nasdaq up 22. This is USA Radio News.
We all want to live long, healthy lives, and we know that smoking is not a part of making that happen. We all know the dangers, but we also know that it's tough to quit smoking and make it stick. And that's where Nickel Block comes in. It comes in a little bottle, and when you put it on the filter of your cigarette, it blocks the inhalation of tar and nicotine. So you got to check this out. Go to nickelblock.tv and find out more. You can also call 877-835-6060. Now, whether this is your first time quitting or your 5th, Nickel Block is your best chance to stop smoking for good. The taste doesn't change, and neither does your satisfaction. But what does change is your dependence on nicotine. And as you increase the number of Nickel Block drops, you'll gradually decrease your tar and nicotine intake. It's that simple. It's gradual. It's effective. Call 877-835-6060. Stop smoking. Make it for good this time. 877-835-6060 or go to nickelblock.tv.
This is Jeff Cruier with my commentary of the day. Well, the media loves to bash Donald Trump. In fact, they're a major part of Hillary Clinton's campaign. Yet one thing they're overlooking, it's been 241 days since Hillary Clinton last held a press conference. Most candidates for president regularly hold press conferences because obviously there are all kinds of questions that need to be asked. Like Hillary should be quizzed about Benghazi, the email scandal, the foundation, contributions from Middle Eastern countries that abuse women and mistreat gays, and questions about the DNC's handling of Bernie Sanders and the rigged nomination process that favored Queen Hillary, and questions about her philandering husband and his abuse of women. The list is endless, yet Hillary refuses to answer these legitimate questions. Now the question is, how long will the press let her get away with it? More info on this and the other hot topics of the day, check out ringsidepolitics.com.
This is David Duplantier, Dean of Christ Church Cathedral between 6th and 7th on St. Charles Avenue, inviting you to join us in celebrating Sundays at the Cathedral. 7:30 a.m. in the chapel, 10 a.m., a choral Eucharist in the Cathedral, and 6 p.m., a service called Real Presence that invites the worshiper to enter into the mystery of God by reflection, prayer, and celebration of the Holy Eucharist. For more information, look at our website, cccnola.org.
Millions of people are asking the question, what has happened to America? Is there hope? What will our children and grandchildren face in years to come? America, there is hope. The same hope expressed by the colonists in 1607 when they placed a cross on the Virginia shore, proclaiming, "In God we trust." In God we trust. It's still our hope. It's our future. It's our national motto. Go to ingodwetrust.com and get your hope today.
You're listening to the Battlefield Live radio program. This is Chris and Trey from Lanterns Radio Network, the Battlefield Live radio program, and we're in the Gode Media Studios, WGSO 990 AM. And if you're enjoying the show, make sure you check us out on Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, and iTunes. You can check us out there by doing a keyword search for Lanterns Buzz. You can also find us on Stitcher, Google Play, and Player.fm. You can actually find us in Europe, I'm sure. If you were in the Basilica of St. Peter and you were in the Vatican, you could listen to our podcast as you gracefully walk down the center of the Basilica. So, Trey, all this chatting that we got going on the backboard, do you find that Mike Pence is a little stiff?
Yeah. In fact, my concern with stiff Pence is that it seems like he's beginning to distance himself from Trump.
He turned around or something, you're saying?
Yeah, he's trying to put some space between him and his presidential
member. Yeah, so check this out, okay? Because,
by the way, real quick, Chris, I don't know if you saw this or not. This is breaking. When I refreshed Drudge, I saw this. It looks like there was a terrorist attack in central London. One woman's been killed, 5 are injured. It looks like a Muslim knifed this woman to death in the middle of the out in public. So
I guess that's the next thing to go.
Yeah, they already banned the guns, so I guess they just have to ban the knives next. But okay, back to Pence.
All right, so back to stiff Pence. So check this out. Did you hear this comment that Donald Trump said about the New York Times?
Over the pictures of his wife?
No, that was the New York Post.
Oh, no. Although he says it's. Oh, wait. Is this the good one?
Yeah. So
okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
What happened is Donald Trump went to go get his political coaching,
right?
Like he does on occasion. He goes on the Sean Hannity show, and Sean happens to coach him through his entire interview to tell him what he should and shouldn't say, and kind of like think he probably ought to do that before he comes on the show, but typically he doesn't.
Every night that I'm in this studio, it seems like Donald Trump's face is on the Sean Hannity show. I think they're going to rename the show Hannity and Trump
instead of Hannity and Combs.
Yeah.
So basically, Sean was talking about what happened with Harambe. I mean, not Harambe. What's the other guy's name? Khan.
Yeah, I was about to say Harambe. That's a gorilla, man.
Well, I mean, you might as well have Khan running for president or vice president or something.
No, that's true. You're right.
Actually, I think it was who was it that was it Rush? Yeah, Rush made the comment that Khan is actually seeming more vice presidential than Hillary Clinton's. No, than Hillary Clinton's running mate.
Oh, than Kane.
Yeah. Right. I mean, he's actually getting more airtime. They must have him in Solitude or something. That Kane fella.
Ghazala Khan. And
so Trump, yeah. So get it out there, buddy. Get out. So Trump says the media is unfair. They're very biased. Trump told Fox's Sean Hannity, parroting a claim he has made throughout the campaign.
Right.
This is actually out of Politico, by the way. He says the failing New York Times. You look at here I go trying to read Donald Trump, okay? So bear with me. I'm reading his exact words. He says, you look at the New York Times, I call it, the failing New York Times, because it won't be in business for another, probably more than a few years, unless somebody goes in and buys it and wants to lose a lot of money, Trump said. But the New York Times is so unfair. I mean, they write 3-4 articles about me a day. No matter how good I do on something, they never write good.
That
no matter
was
how good I do.
Chris Pelier reading quotes from Donald Trump.
They never write good.
Yeah, I don't like people that don't write good either. I mean, you and I are starting to, in our business, we need to make sure that the folks that are writing good. And as time goes by, we need to make sure that they write gooder. Because if they're not getting gooder, then, we're not going to have a credible product. People are not going to want to read our stuff if the people aren't writing good and if they're not getting gooder all the time.
And if we really, really want to succeed, we have to be the goodest at what we do.
Now, look, everybody knows, and we need to be fair here, Chris, because everybody knows that Trump uses the best words.
He does use the best words.
I mean, the best words. He says the best words. He uses the best words.
And imagine if you would pair him up with ping pong ball-eyed Nancy Pelosi.
That's good. It does look like somebody's squeezing her in her abdomen a little bit too hard, doesn't it?
Looks like her freaking eyeballs are about to pop out of her face.
I think she's got
push it back in every now and then.
I think she's got an overactive thyroid.
You think?
No. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying that was probably too medical. But she looks like one of them little stress-like things when you squeeze the thing, like the eyes pop out.
That's exactly what she looks like. She looked like she's like, what is that little puppet character?
Madam?
No, the little puppet, the Middle Eastern puppet. I will kill you.
Oh, boom! I'll kill you. Akbar, right? Akbar?
Yeah, that's what she looks like. One of them Akbars. You know what I'm saying? And actually, you can pick up a Allah Akbar
at your local
7-Eleven.
That's right, local 7-Eleven.
That's right.
Just ask Joe Biden.
That's right. They don't write good.
Oh, it's Ahmed. It's not Akbar.
Ahmed. Okay. Ahmed, Akbar, it's all the same thing. It's whatever.
It kind of is, really, at the end of the day. They're all just really the same thing.
So they don't write good.
They don't write good.
People over there like Maggie Haberman and others, they don't write good, he said. They don't know how to write good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he didn't say it wrong one time. Or even maybe 2 times. He said it bad like 6 times. So other than that, everything is great, isn't it?
Now, listen, if Donald Trump, you cannot, okay. You've laid out a kind of another case for exactly what I was trying to explain yesterday.
Okay.
Now, I have 2 articles here in my formerly, I never had nicotine stained fingers, so I can't use that one. But I first of all, this comes out of the Washington Examiner. Okay. Now, this comes off of the back that Trump is saying things more and more and more that are just ridiculous. Okay.
Right.
So this came out yesterday, and the title in the Washington Examiner says Trump's campaign may be falling to pieces. Now, if you look at this campaign, Paul Manafort basically is saying that he's at a place where he's no longer, and all reports are confirming this fact, he's no longer fighting the Republican nominee on how to run the race and has given up.
As November draws closer.
Okay.
Okay, so we're at a place now where literally the Trump staffers, the Trump campaign people that are actually working are like on suicide watch.
So where is this coming from?
This is in the Washington Examiner, and this is a tweet by John Harwood. The tweet says, longtime ally of Paul Manafort, Trump's campaign manager, quote, Manafort not challenging Trump anymore, mailing it in, staff suicidal. Then you had other people who, Patrick Ruffini said that Corey or Roger Stone will be running it by Election Day.
Corey Lewandowski again?
Yes.
Good Lord.
Ali Vitale said a Trump campaign source in reacts to this tells me it's all true and, quote, way worse than people realize. So
are these coming from reliable sources? Because
these are all coming in from inside of the Trump campaign. Now, this comes on the back of what I was saying about Trump distancing himself.
Pence, you mean?
Stiff Pence. From his recent stuff. But then let me see here. Trump's magic. No, that's not it. Hold on. I put it in here somewhere. No. Where's it at? Oh, man. Anyway, there was I think it might have been on Daily Wire. There's an article that actually puts out a whole list of things that Trump has done. And the RNC is in reaction, scared that Trump might actually drop out of the race because he's like already in the Real Clear Politics poll. He's already behind Hillary Clinton by depending upon how you read it, 5 to 8 points.
Well, a lot of people don't realize that, they said how great Trump did in the primaries. He had garnered, I think, 13 some odd million votes in the primary. Well, Hillary Clinton garnered like 15 million.
Yeah, but here's the thing. He got less. He got the smallest percentage of Republican votes in the history of the Republican primary. All right, wow. Chris, we got 20 seconds. We'll jump on that when we come back. 504-556-9696. This is the Battlefield Live with Chris and Trey on WGSO. Did you ever think that the presumptive Republican nominee for President of the United States would have similar policy and, suggestions as the Democratic Socialist candidate?
I never thought that a Republican candidate for president would hold both liberal and conservative policies at the same time.
Right.
I mean, this is totally fascinating. Visit the website battlefield.buzz for the latest from Chris and Trey from the Battlefield Live radio show.
Experience Augie's, formerly Augie's Glass Garden, now in Harahan. Augie's, truly a gorgeous place. Where can you go to experience super jumbo soft-shell crabs for only $14.95 and the area's largest seafood platters? Private parties, receptions, reunions, and events of all types can be handled at Augie's. 6005 Jefferson Highway in Harahan. Call for reservations 733-3000. Check us out on the web, augiesnola.com. Playmakers Indoor Sports offers youth and adult leagues for soccer and flag football, NFL youth flag football, and youth developmental programs. Playmakers Tots program is a youth development program for children ages 18 months to 7 years. Playmakers Tots uses sports like soccer, football, baseball, and basketball to help kids work on motor development, learn to work together, follow directions, and improve listening skills while learning that activity is fun. To register for classes, go to our registration page at playmakersindoor.com or call 504-305-6078. Playmakersindoor.com. 6124 Jefferson Highway in Harahan.
Are you looking for a reasonable and affordable way to enhance your image or your company's image on the internet? Are you looking for ways to leverage internet technology to streamline your business? An upgraded website or web application is the way to go. Vast Virtual Solutions is a technology company that specializes in developing websites that operate on the cutting edge with the ability to save you and your business time and money. Visit vastvirtual.com for a business quote today. vastvirtual.com.
Millions of people are asking the question, what has happened to America? Is there hope? What will our children and grandchildren face in years to come? America, there is hope. The same hope expressed by the colonists in 1607 when they placed a cross on the Virginia shore, proclaiming, "In God we trust." In God we trust. It's still our hope. It's our future. It's our national motto. Go to ingodwetrust.com and get your hope today.
What are you doing to stop traffic? When your business is ready to wow the pants off customers, visit Sir Speedy. We produce quality signs, posters, banners, and more that are just the trick for trade shows, promotions, events, and product launches. Whether you're taking it to the street, the floor, or the counter, bigger is always better. For more information or to get a quote, go to SirSpeedyNewOrleans.com.
Thank you for joining us on the battlefield. Had to get my little snack in, dude. Got some nuts over here, or some seeds. What do you got going on over there? You sound like my dog after he eats peanut butter.
No, that was That was the former communications manager for the Obama administration. In the first
talking about Mao Zedong?
Yeah.
What was her name?
Anita Dunn.
Anita Dung?
Anita Tug.
Anita Tongue. Oh, no, I don't need another tongue. Hey, did you see this Fox News poll? Clinton leads Trump by 10 points.
Dude, listen, I am really, really hoping that these polls are wrong. Remember we said on Monday, oh, Clinton got a little bit of a bump, and it looked like, Trump after the RNC was up 7, and, early polls look like Hillary's up 7. And I'm like, wait a minute. If she was down 7 and now she's up 7, dude, that's a 14-point swing, and the polls haven't even been taken yet. Like, we kept saying, wait till the end of the week, and as we approach the end of the week, this is why, according to an ABC News insider, members of the Republican National Committee are so, quote, frustrated and, quote, confused by Trump's, quote, erratic behavior that they've actually begun exploring exactly what they would do should he drop out. Now, think about this, Chris. The Republican Party officials think that there's a real enough chance of that happening that they're actively looking into emergency measures to install another candidate. ABC News' John Carl on Good Morning America this week said, quote, I'm told that senior officials at the party are actively exploring what would happen if Trump dropped out, how to replace him on the ballot. He's so unpredictable right now. They are so unable to control his message that they just don't know, and they clearly think it is possible, which is why they're looking into these rules. Now, this week has been a train wreck for Trump, okay? And Priebus, Reince Priebus.
Reince is what?
His Pence, has been pleading with the candidate to get on message and stop the bleeding. But, as Bloomberg notes, that if he would have to drop out voluntarily, that like the RNC has no official mechanisms to remove him. But should he withdraw, because this is what people are thinking, he's about winning and reigning. He's not about governing. He's about being the president, but not like leading the country as the president, right?
You think he's going to be like, he's going to run it like a CEO, and he's just going to hang out, let things happen?
Well, yeah. I mean, look, becoming the president would impede upon his lifestyle, right? But should he withdraw, there's 168 RNC members who would then be required to pick a new candidate, and that decision would need to be within the next month or so, so that so they could get him on the he or she on the ballot. Dude, think about this.
Has this ever happened before?
No, of course not. But here's have we ever had a guy like Donald Trump for president before?
I don't know.
Okay, so here's the thing. Could you imagine Trump getting killed? Because right now, Chris, Trump's magic number, and we can look at this, let's look at this through the political lens, like you and I, because, we're relatively intelligent young men, and so Trump's magic number is 64. Okay, here's what 64 means. That's the number of electoral votes that Trump's got to flip from Obama states in 2012 in order for him to secure the presidency. Okay? So here's what we're talking about. During the 2012 election, Mitt Romney won 206 electoral votes. Barack Obama picked up 332. Now, Obama only won 50% of the popular vote.
Right.
Right. He didn't win. It wasn't some big landslide victory. Okay. And in fact, what was it, like 30 million Christians stayed home because they didn't want to vote for a Marxist or a Mormon?
Was that what it was? 30 million?
Yeah. 30 million Christians stayed home. Okay. Now watch. So now here's the states we're looking for. He's got to basically sweep. Now he's claiming that he's going to be able to do it. But he's got to sweep through the Rust Belt. So he's going to have to pick up Ohio's 18, Pennsylvania's 20, Wisconsin's 10, and Michigan's 16. Now, in Michigan and Wisconsin, according to the Washington Examiner, no credible polls, as of yet, show Trump with a lead whatsoever at any point. And in Pennsylvania, only one credible pollster has shown Trump with any lead at all. pretty much.
He's going to get the blue collar Democrat type folks.
Yeah, but here's
union style.
But remember what David Plouffe told Megyn Kelly during the Republican convention. Trump is going to lose in the inner cities to Hillary. In
Absolutely.
Pennsylvania, he's going to.
It don't matter if he was Ronald Reagan.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So is he going to win a big enough margin in the suburbs, the rural towns, the blue collar, that vote? Is he going to win more of those than he's going to lose to Hillary in the inner cities? And watch this. The locals are putting things on the ballot. Like, for instance, if you go into, let's look at North Carolina, okay?
Right.
North Carolina, the court just struck down North Carolina's voter ID law. Okay, so there's evidence suggesting that high-profile voter ID debates have encouraged the increase of African-American turnout in past elections. So North Carolina is a place where those 15 electoral votes, he would have to pick them up somewhere else if North Carolina went for Hillary because of issues like this. And in places out west, they're putting weed on the ballot. They're putting Hillary. Listen to this stat, dude. Hillary Clinton has she's got right now 66%. She's polling 66 to 18 over Trump in the Latino vote in the latest poll.
Wow. Dude, do you think that the media is just kind of overshadowing the entire election now, and that they're really skewing what's really happening in the Trump campaign?
It could be, but I mean, look, the Washington Examiner is kind of conservative.
I believe that's the case. I believe that we're in full propaganda mode. This is the last straw for progressives. They got to get this thing pushed over the line to prevent the progress, quote unquote, that they've made. I think this is a full onslaught, Marxist, propagandist BS that we're seeing right now.
But wouldn't you agree though that it's been that way since the primary season started? Because they gave.
No, I think the media really they liked Trump, what he was doing. Right, because he was bringing them ratings. But I think they said this is a win-win for the media. The media is dying in the country.
Oh, no, I agree with you on that point. What I'm saying is that the entire time they covered for Hillary. They covered for the Benghazi. They covered for the emails.
Kept her in the closet.
Okay, so watch. So they kept her in the closet.
And they're doing it now.
And on top of that, though, they used Trump as the ratings bonanza that he was during the Republican primary
to get him elected,
giving him $3 billion. Some people estimate a free airtime, but now they're the entire app. Oh, gee, Chris, I wonder if there was anybody who predicted that the same Trumpkins who were out there like, yeah, look at Trump. Trump's out there. He's saying everything to the media. He's fighting the media. And I wonder if there was anybody who predicted that if he gets the nomination, we'd see the media turn on him completely.
It's probably one of them guys on Lantern's radio now.
Probably. But dude, if he drops out because he's starting to get his rear end handed to him, and he's about winning. If he drops out and says, you know what, the Republicans didn't support me, I'm out of here.
I don't see it happening.
Here comes Kasich or here comes Jeb freaking Bush. All right, we got to go to our break. 1 hour down, second hour coming up next. 504-556-9696. By the way, go check out lanterns.buzz. Follow Chris on Twitter at Paul Revere again. Follow me on Twitter at TRobRadio. And go to any of your favorite internet browsers and type in the hashtag LanternsBuzz, and you will see all that we do. 504-556-9696. We'll be back after this quick time out on the Battlefield Live on WGSO.
This advertisement does not constitute an offer to sell a franchise. The offer of a franchise can only be made through the delivery of a franchise disclosure document.
Fresh Healthy Vending is a new company that is revolutionizing the vending machine business by filling them with healthy and natural foods. That's right. Protein and energy drinks, teas and juices, yogurts, fresh fruits and veggies, soy milk, natural cereals, granola bars. Can you imagine that? It's like having a whole food store in a machine. And you can get in on the ground floor by getting your own Fresh Healthy Vending franchise. You can have your own small business placing healthy food vending machines all over your area in places like schools and hospitals and businesses and airports and other high traffic areas. Locations that embrace the idea because, they make money too. Full training and support and assistance in acquiring locations. It's all about timing, folks. Pick up the phone, make the call to Fresh Healthy Vending, and get all the details on what could be your big life moment. Get Fresh Healthy Vending franchise information now. Call 800-424-8282. 424-8282. That's 800-424-8282.
What does grace mean to you? For Grace at the Green Light, it means everyone deserves the chance to go home again. Everyone deserves a hot meal in a clean indoor setting. Grace at the Green Light serves the homeless in New Orleans. We have served over 40,000 meals and sent over 450 men and women home to be reunited with their families. Thanks in part to the support of our sponsors, Christ Church Cathedral, Emery and James Limited, Fat Bankers Social Aid and Pleasure Club, Faubourg Private Wealth, First NBC Bank, Kushner LeGrays, McGee School, McMath Construction, Orland Berry LLC, Perrier and Lacoste, and Seiler Tucker. You can help and make a difference too. For information on donating or volunteering, call 504-239-4544, 504-239-4544, or visit graceatthegreenlight.org.
Catch the Three Tailgaters Show with Ken Trahan, Ed Daniels, and Rick Gailey Saturday mornings from 10 to noon on WGSO 990 AM, New Orleans.
USA Radio News with Chris Barnes.
They're actually definitely taking care of us.
Amid great concerns about Zika at the 2016 Olympics, Olympic medalist Ryan Lochte says he's not too concerned about it.
Just because USA Swimming, our national governing body, is protecting us. We were supposed to have camp in Puerto Rico, but due to the Zika virus, we're having it here in the States.
But as many as 200,000 Americans are expected to travel to Rio in Brazil for the Olympics, and infectious disease specialists are focused on a potential for Zika to then spread to the United States.
We do have now more than 1,600 travel-related cases in the United States.
That's Dr. Anthony Fauci of the NIH. 214 federal inmates getting their sentences commuted by President Obama. It marks the most grants of clemency in a single day since the year 1900. This is USA Radio News.
This report is brought to you by SC Johnson. Mosquitoes. We all know they can cause itchy, irritating bites during the summer season. But did you know only female mosquitoes bite your skin? Or that the chemicals in your breath can attract mosquitoes? Scientists at the SC Johnson Entomology Research Center have been studying insects for 60 years and have found that body chemistry, proximity to water, and the color of your clothing can make a difference if you want to avoid bites. Dr. Maud Meyer, an SC Johnson bug expert, is here to share some tips to help you protect your family from mosquitoes this summer.
Our research at SC Johnson shows that personal repellents that contain DEET offer the best protection against mosquito bites. DEET affects the scent receptors in mosquitoes, making it difficult for them to recognize humans as a food source. In order to best protect your family, look for effective personal repellents like OFF that contain DEET.
For more facts and tips on avoiding mosquito bites this summer, visit www.scjohnson.com/mosquitoes.
The opportunity to receive classified briefings is now available to Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton and her Republican rival Donald Trump. White House spokesman Josh Earnest making the announcement at the daily briefing.
White House Chief of Staff Dennis McDonough placed telephone calls to designated officials in both campaigns to make them aware of the variety of resources that can be used to benefit their transition planning activities.
Earnest noting also that the White House has reached out to both campaigns to start the process of transitioning to a new administration. That transition will go into high gear, of course, after November's presidential election. This offer of transition help comes just a day after President Obama says that Donald Trump is unfit to serve as President of the United States. A midweek comeback for Wall Street. The Dow gains 41 points on the day. The Nasdaq climbs 22. This is USA Radio News.
They're going to bring me a baby brother. We can do this together. All right, let's go.
Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't? Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No. Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock this. To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the right seat. Cool. Very cool. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The White House insisting $400 million that was paid to Iran last January was not ransom for the release of 4 Americans. Spokesman Josh Earnest telling a briefing it's against U.S. policy to pay ransom for hostages. Earnest saying a transfer of the $400 million to Iran was part of an old settlement over a failed arms deal. However, Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump isn't buying it. He calls the payment of that money to Iran a disgrace.
$400 million, and it's being shipped overnight to Iran.
Fantasy sports competition back up and running in New York State. And just in time for football season, Sharon Reed reports.
This is a big win for fantasy sports sites like FanDuel and DraftKings. Months ago, they left New York after the state attorney general threatened to sue them for illegal gambling. The measure signed by Governor Cuomo describes fantasy sports as a game of skill and requires the sites to register with the State Gaming Commission and operate under new state regulations. Officials say fantasy sports should generate about $4 million in tax revenue for education aid. Sharon Reed, New York.
And Hurricane Earl not likely to affect the U.S., but it's taking aim at Belize. The storm was upgraded to a hurricane this afternoon, now packing maximum sustained winds of 75 miles an hour and forecast to make landfall over Belize later tonight. For USA Radio News, I'm Chris Barnes.
We're here to fix the machine.
Battlefield Live. You're listening to the Battlefield Live with Chris and Trey. From Lanterns Radio Network, the Battlefield Live radio program, I want to thank you for joining us on the battlefield today. And the battlefield is ripe for discussion. And Trey and I have still a lot to talk about. In the meantime, if you haven't and you want to follow us on social media or you want to reach out to us and ask us some questions, you can do so at Lanterns Buzz on Twitter. You can also follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Lanterns Buzz. On Twitter, you can follow me at Paul Revere again and Trey at T-Rob Radio. Also, you can get our podcast if you enjoy the show and you want to listen to your leisure. Do things like Trey does and listen to things in the shower. Yes.
That is true.
I never did get how you can actually bring your phone in the shower with you.
Well, that's only because I have the new Samsung Galaxy S7. Samsung Galaxy S7 is a phenomenal phone. It is waterproof.
Are we getting a plug?
I'm really trying to plug Samsung because I could really dig some Samsung sponsorship right about now.
I'm not a big Android guy.
I am owned by Google.
Developer. You would think as a developer I would rather the Android environment, if you will.
Well, I mean, I understand. I mean, you've been a long time Apple ecosystem guy, and I'm just owned by Google. I mean, literally, I use the Chrome browser. I've got Android phone. I got an Android tablet. I just bought a Chromebook, and I only use Gmail. It's just everything is Google.
And of course, you use Google Docs as well, as we've learned on the website.
Google Docs, Google Slides,
Google Wallet,
Google Translate. Actually, they got rid of Google Wallet. It's now Samsung Pay or Google Pay or whatever.
Really?
Yeah.
Why did they get rid of the wallet?
I guess because people were moving away from the actual cards, and so now Samsung came out with something that was great for their phones, so they just kind of merged the two from Google Pay to it's now just Samsung Pay.
Google taking over the world.
It really is amazing, and people don't even realize that like Google has a parent company.
Do they really?
Yeah, there's a company that owns Google.
Is it like Gaggle?
No, it's actually called Alphabet.
Is it really?
No, it really is. Alphabet is the parent. You want to freak out? Just Google.
Google.
Yeah, what the parent company Alphabet is into.
So, folks, if you want to talk about this is such an interesting topic that we could probably talk all night on.
I guarantee you there's people out there who know that Google will one day usher in like the mark of the beast or something.
Yes. You saying that's what our listenership is?
Well, no, I'm just saying. There's people out there who know. Look, we're using YouTube. That's Google.
That's true. That is true.
So, I mean, everything, you can't get away from Google, period. I'm sorry.
Google Minions Google?
No.
See my shirt?
No, you're still too low. Oh, there you go. My daughters were watching the most recent Minion where
Dude, that is funny.
Bob becomes king. Is that the one?
Is it?
I think so.
I don't know. I've only watched
in England, right?
And I fell asleep, but I thought it was so funny.
Oh, dude, it was so hilarious. My wife is like, how in the hell are we able to understand what they're saying?
They speak it in Spanish and English.
And I'm like, you know what? Because they just say
banana.
King Bob! You know, and you don't know. King Bob! You know, that's all you got to know.
So if you want to give us a call, 504-556-9696. We still have a whole hour to goof off and have a great time.
Don't you think
we did a little bit of laughing, didn't
we do. I mean, look, these are the kind of shows where we're just kind of free-flowing and we talk about... Look, if we don't talk about today's events and clown these people, all you're going to do is want to drink. Or do drugs.
Yeah.
Because it's really quite depressing. But
or we could talk about brain-eating amoebas in South Carolina. Did you hear about this?
No, but I did hear that the Olympic swimmers are basically swimming in... let's see here. A Brazilian doctor says that foreign athletes will literally be swimming in human crap.
That's awesome.
They are saying, do not put your head underwater. You know how problematic that is if you're trying to swim fast?
Swim really fast if you're above the water.
Well, I mean, if you're being drugged behind a motorboat, not too good if you're trying to swim.
I got some video that I watched about what's going on in Venezuela, and I thought that we could play it, but I don't think this is the right mood for this show.
Yeah,
right
no,
now,
we probably don't want to
roll, having too much fun. If I play this would be like watching the end of Old Yeller.
Really, that bad?
It's very bad. Oh yeah, dude, you'll be borderline in tears. It is really bad over there, dude. I'm talking like people killing people for food. I mean, it's really bad.
I mean, I saw recently that like they're saying Venezuela, like their cash is going to be gone within like a year.
They can't even afford the paper to print the money.
Dude, I mean, I don't even know. I mean, you've been on this Venezuela kick for a while, but like, what's sad?
I'm a trendsetter.
I know, but what's sad about it is like, in the midst of all this stuff that's happening, the deep economic, political, humanitarian crisis that's going on.
Right.
Citizens are suffering from massive food shortages. We talked about the BYO medicine hospital policy, right? But like, you got like Hollywood folks who are still going over there and vacationing because they think the place is a paradise.
Oh yeah, it's a paradise. It's a paradise, all right.
It's a socialist paradise.
It is a utopian paradise of socialism. That is exactly right. That's what happens when That's what happened to Argentina. That's what happened. That's which actually spawned the whole thing that delivered our Pope. He came from that.
Is this the best example, Chris, in our lifetime? Neither you nor I were around for like the Weimar Republic. When Zimbabwe went through their hyperinflation, were we around for that? Like, were we born yet?
Yeah, we were younger, but I mean, like, for instance, the Weimar Republic really is a difficult example because there's a lot more to the Weimar Republic than what happened in Argentina. Argentina happened probably very similar to what's happened in Venezuela. Venezuela, I think, is more extreme.
Okay, yeah, the late 1990s.
Yeah. And so, for instance, the Weimar Republic was a hyperinflation thing.
Correct.
Venezuela is a socialism thing. Now, that doesn't mean they're not mutually exclusive.
Correct.
In other words, a lot of socialist states, that's how they destroy capitalism is they destroy the value, the mark or the baseline for value, which is the currency.
Right.
That's what they're trying to do here in this country. A lot of people don't realize that, but the socialists that are running our country, as well as internationally, are trying to destroy the dollar to make it equal to all the other currencies in the world.
Right.
That's just what they're doing. And
a basket, right?
Yeah, I mean it's about scaling back the United States influence around the world so these other countries can get their fair share.
Right.
And so what's happening in Venezuela is that very similarly, you have socialists that are fighting for power. I mean, the guy that's running the place, Maduro, he was a bus driver.
Right.
The guy that he just put in his one of his key members is an indicted criminal.
Well, Aqua Velvejad was a street sweeper.
Who?
Mahmoud
yeah.
Aqua Velvejad.
Yeah. Aqua Velvejad.
Yeah.
We might want to talk about what's going on in Iran.
Yeah, well, it's definitely history, but it's plausible deniability once again on the part of this White House.
Did you see the picture of the C-130 that they put all his money in? I'm talking about in a pallet, dude. This thing was, 6 foot tall and 8 feet wide of money, dude.
Yeah, it's and listen, the amazing thing was, can you think of?
Money.
I know, but can you think of another time when the United States has paid to get its hostages back?
Well, yeah, the White House is denying this.
Well, but I mean, okay, but both events happened.
But think about this for a second. Let's
coincidentally at the same time.
And I know we just got a minute left here, so think about the fact that besides the whole hostage thing, we gave them $400 million. Why? Why?
Why? As a ransom to release 4 Americans detained in Tehran.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm looking at the Wall Street Journal right now, and they're saying that they, like you said, they had wooden pallets. It was stacked with euros, Swiss franc, other currencies, and it was on an unmarked cargo plane. The money procured by the United States, it came from the central banks of the Netherlands and Switzerland, and the money represented the first installment of a $1.7 billion settlement that the Obama administration reached with Iran to resolve a decades-old dispute over a failed arms deal signed just before the 1979 fall of Iran's last monarch, Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi.
Tell me that is not a Potemkin village in that comment.
Remind me.
Are you looking up Potemkin village?
No, but just remind me. Don't let anybody know that I'm asking you this, but just remind me what a Potemkin village is again.
Look it up, dude. Look up a Potemkin.
Okay,
That's what the communists always use. They built. If you look over in China right now, there's like thousands and thousands of buildings that were built there, big cities that were built that are not occupied because they have to keep people working. So what they do is they keep them working, building things that nobody's going to use. That's how communism works. It's absolute waste and fraud.
Oh my goodness, they had villages of cardboard.
Yes, that's what the
when Catherine II came to visit Ukraine and Crimea in 1787.
Yeah, like Checkpoint Charlie in Germany.
So it's just like a facade.
Yes, all it is a front to show the paradise that it's really not.
But dude, what is up with
socialism is? It's a lie.
But what is it? But help me to understand what's the deal with the Obama administration. Like, were we being sued with Iran or something for?
The Potemkin village is what I'm trying to say. They figured out a way to get these hostages back by blaming or utilizing it's progressivism. To utilize something else is the vehicle to get, so that way they can get around the fact that it was a ransom.
All right, I got more questions about this because something's still not just making sense with me. So we'll tackle that right after the break. I see we have a phone call too, so we'll tackle that as well. 504-556-9696. This is the Battlefield Live with Chris and Trey on WGSO in NOLA. Experience Augie's, formerly Augie's Glass Garden, now in Harahan. Augie's, truly a gorgeous place. Where can you go to experience super jumbo soft-shell crabs for only $14.95 and the area's largest seafood platters? Private parties, receptions, reunions, and events of all types can be handled at Augie's. 6005 Jefferson Highway in Harahan. Call for reservations 733-3000. Check us out on the web, augiesnola.com. Did you ever think that the presumptive Republican nominee for President of the United States would have similar policy and, suggestions as the Democratic Socialist candidate?
I never thought that a Republican candidate for president would hold both liberal and conservative policies at the same time.
Right.
I mean,
like
this is totally
gyroscope.
fascinating. Visit the website battlefield.buzz for the latest from Chris and Trey from the Battlefield Live radio show.
Millions of people are asking the question, what has happened to America? Is there hope? What will our children and grandchildren face in years to come? America, there is hope. The same hope expressed by the colonists in 1607 when they placed a cross on the Virginia shore, proclaiming, "In God we trust." In God we trust. It's still our hope. It's our future. It's our national motto. Go to ingodwetrust.com and get your hope today.
Are you looking for a reasonable and affordable way to enhance your image or your company's image on the internet? Are you looking for ways to leverage internet technology to streamline your business? An upgraded website or web application is the way to go. Vast Virtual Solutions is a technology company that specializes in developing websites that operate on the cutting edge with the ability to save you and your business time and money. Visit vastvirtual.com for a business quote today. vastvirtual.com.
Playmakers Indoor Sports. TOTS program is one of Playmakers' most popular. Our professionally developed curriculum provides our TOTS with a variety of fun games and exercise in a positive, enjoyable, and exciting environment. These great games help your little one develop their motor skills, create confidence, improve their listening skills, and learn how to follow directions, all while promoting fitness and activity. Our TOTS groups range from 18 months to 7 years. Sign up your little tot today or call 504-305-6078. Playmakersindoor.com.
Battlefield Live. This is Chris and Trey from the Lanterns Radio Network, the WGSO 990 Go Day Media Studios.
What's up, everybody?
What happening? So give us a call, 504-556-9696, and make sure you tune in to the Battlefield Live every evening from 9 to 11 on WGSO 990 AM.
Or else.
Or else you could actually go to Spreaker.com or SoundCloud.com or maybe even a little YouTube or a little iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, maybe.
Player FM.
Player FM, that's right. And by the way, if you go to any of those places, just make sure you put in Lanterns Buzz. That's where you can find us everywhere, including on Twitter and Facebook as well. Twitter, you can follow us at Lanterns Buzz. Or you can follow Trey at T-Rob Radio, or the best Twitter account on Twitter, which would be Paul Revere again. Yes, that's right. That'd be me. And Facebook.com/Lanterns Buzz. Of course, Trey is a pretty close second. Just saying.
I'll take it.
You'll take it? We're also on the Red Nation Rising Network, Red State Talk Radio, ICRN Radio. If you're an internet radio listener, that's where you can find us. We're all over the place. Of course, we are on the Lanterns Radio Network. That is our home. Trey and I built that along with the help of Andrew Chavarria and a lot of other really great hosts. And we're bringing on some bloggers, which is really good news. We got an editor signed up, and, man, things are going to get real over there. So want to give a big
to make
thanks
sure we
all.
write good.
Yeah, because writing good is a must.
It's a must. You got to write good.
So
we got to use the best
you
words.
sent me an article earlier from.
Oh wait, are we not going back to the money thing?
Well, yeah, we could.
Okay.
We could. I even forgot what we were talking about.
Oh no, listen. I went and read some more of the article during the break. Dude, check this out. This is unbelievable. Okay. Senator Tom Cotton, the Republican from Arkansas, here's what he said about Barack Obama. He said that Barack Obama paid a $1.7 billion ransom to the Ayatollahs for U.S. hostages. This break with long-standing U.S. policy put a price on the head of Americans and has led Iran to continue its illegal seizures of Americans. Now, since we paid them SOBs in Iran, the intelligence arm of the Revolutionary Guard has arrested 2 more Iranian Americans, and Tehran has also detained dual nationals from France, Canada, and the UK in recent months.
They're trying to get some money, dude.
Now, dude, think about this. The $400 million, this is, oh my God, dude. The $400 million that was paid in foreign currency was done so because any transaction with Iran in U.S. dollars is illegal under U.S. law.
What does the law mean? I mean, come on.
Well, for this administration, and apparently, not a whole lot, but okay, so Chris, so the law says that you can't murder someone. But if you pay me to murder them for you, you're still going to be culpable.
Right.
So if it's illegal for us to give Iran U.S. dollars, but we use foreign currency instead, aren't we still breaking the law? I mean, really, is the law that weak, and the strength of the execution of the law so lame that they're like, oh well, it's not U.S. dollars, it's Swiss francs and a couple of cases of beanie weenie.
Well, I don't even know what to say to that, because I mean, all right, so if the law reads that that's what the progressives do. They always go around the law by looking at the actual language and getting around it.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That blows me away that this is the people that, anyway, whatever. This is somebody needs to go to jail. Somebody.
Just one person?
Right now, I'll settle for one person being held accountable for all this crap, but somebody's got to go to jail. Now, yes, I sent you an article.
You sent me an article.
Yeah, that's what you said coming out of the break. You were like, you sent me an article earlier.
Yeah, you sent one to me that Ben Shapiro wrote.
Did you read it?
I did read it, but I wanted to get your thoughts on it.
Man, isn't that... Okay, I actually...
You've become a big Shapiro fan lately.
I am, dude. I really am.
What are you doing? Are you on like meth over there or something? You're looking all around.
Yeah, I feel like I'm like looking around. The lights are flashing here. Okay, so Ben Shapiro in this article, we're not going to have time, but in the next segment, I would like to read this article line by line, and I would like for you and I to unpack it and discuss its content.
Okay.
Because to me, this is Ben Shapiro today in reading this article, and probably the best place to go to find it is National Review. But to me, this is...
We'll post it on our archives, by the way.
This is the best. Like today, I think I've taken a step closer toward voting for Donald Trump in the general.
Whoa!
Because of this article.
Shapiro?
After reading this, that's absolutely correct.
Whoa, this. All right, I got to hear this, because this is absolutely fascinating, because Shapiro is not a big fan of Trump at all.
At all.
He bashes him every day.
Absolutely, every chance he gets. And he actually does a really good job of, he's an equal opportunity basher in bashing Hillary and Hillary's donor.
Oh, he has a great time.
He really does.
Podcast.
All right, so look, we'll kind of dip into that. We'll share the article and then give some thoughts right after the break. We got the news coming up. And we'll take your phone calls. I see we got some folks on the line, so don't hang up. Just hang out with us. We'll get to you, I promise. And anybody else that wants to jump in, we got lines open, 504-556-9696. Chris and Trey, Battlefield Live, WGSO, 990 AM.
Millions of people are asking the question, what has happened to America? Is there hope? What will our children and grandchildren face in years to come? America, there is hope. The same hope expressed by the colonists in 1607 when they placed a cross on the Virginia shore, proclaiming, "In God we trust." In God we trust. It's still our hope. It's our future. It's our national motto. Go to ingodwetrust.com and get your hope today.
Experience Augie's, formerly Augie's Glass Garden, now in Harahan. Augie's, truly a gorgeous place. Where can you go to experience super jumbo soft-shell crabs for only $14.95 and the area's largest seafood platters? Private parties, receptions, reunions, and events of all types can be handled at Augie's. 6005 Jefferson Highway in Harahan. Call for reservations 733-3000. Check us out on the web, augiesnola.com. Join us at Playmakers Indoor South every summer and holiday for our multi-sport camps. $25 a day, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. with before care from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. and after care from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. available for $5. Soccer, flag football, basketball, wiffle ball, relay games, lacrosse, and much, much more. Plenty of spots available. Contact Playmakers Indoor Sports, 6124 Jefferson Highway in Harahan, or call 504-305-6078 or sign up today at playmakersindoor.com.
Are you looking for a reasonable and affordable way to enhance your image or your company's image on the internet? Are you looking for ways to leverage internet technology to streamline your business? An upgraded website or web application is the way to go. Vast Virtual Solutions is a technology company that specializes in developing websites that operate on the cutting edge with the ability to save you and your business time and money. Visit vastvirtual.com for a business quote today. vastvirtual.com.
1. USA Radio News with Chris Barnes.
They're actually definitely taking care of us.
Amid great concerns about Zika at the 2016 Olympics, Olympic medalist Ryan Lochte says he's not too concerned about it.
Just because USA Swimming, our national governing body, is protecting us. You know, we were supposed to have camp in Puerto Rico, but due to the Zika virus, we're having it here in the States.
But as many as 200,000 Americans are expected to travel to Rio in Brazil for the Olympics, and infectious disease specialists are focused on a potential for Zika to then spread to the United States.
We do have now more than 1,600 travel-related cases in the United States.
That's Dr. Anthony Fauci of the NIH. 214 federal inmates getting their sentences commuted by President Obama. It marks the most grants of clemency in a single day since the year 1900. This is USA Radio News.
We all want to live long, healthy lives, and we know that smoking is not a part of making that happen. We all know the dangers, but we also know that it's tough to quit smoking and make it stick. And that's where NicoBlock comes in. It comes in a little bottle. And when you put it on the filter of your cigarette, it blocks the inhalation of tar and nicotine. So you got to check this out. Go to nicoblock.tv and find out more. You can also call 877-835-6060. Now, whether this is your first time quitting or your fifth, NicoBlock is your best chance to stop smoking for good. The taste doesn't change, and neither does your satisfaction. But what does change is your dependence on nicotine. And as you increase the number of NicoBlock drops, you'll gradually decrease your tar and nicotine intake. It's that simple. It's gradual. It's effective. Call 877-835-6060. Stop smoking. Make it for good this time. 877-835-6060 or go to nicoblock.tv.
This is Jeff Cruier with my commentary of the day. Well, the media loves to bash Donald Trump. In fact, they're a major part of Hillary Clinton's campaign. Yet one thing they're overlooking. It's been 241 days since Hillary Clinton last held a press conference. Most candidates for president regularly hold press conferences because obviously there are all kinds of questions that need to be asked. Like Hillary should be quizzed about Benghazi, the email scandal, the foundation, contributions from Middle Eastern countries that abuse women and mistreat gays. delays, and questions about the DNC's handling of Bernie Sanders and the rigged nomination process that favored Queen Hillary, and questions about her philandering husband and his abuse of women. The list is endless, yet Hillary refuses to answer these legitimate questions. Now the question is, how long will the press let her get away with it? More info on this and the other hot topics of the day, check out ringsidepolitics.com.
What are you doing to stop traffic? When your business is ready to wow the pants off customers, visit Sir Speedy. We produce quality signs, posters, banners, and more that are just the trick for trade shows, promotions, events, and product launches. Whether you're taking it to the street, the floor, or the counter, bigger is always better. For more information or to get a quote, go to SirSpeedyNewOrleans.com.
Did you ever think that the presumptive Republican nominee for President of the United States would have similar policy and, suggestions as the Democratic Socialist candidate?
I never thought that a Republican candidate for president would hold both liberal and conservative policies at the same time.
Right.
I mean,
like
this is totally
gyroscope.
fascinating. Visit the website battlefield.buzz for the latest from Chris and Trey from the Battlefield Live radio show. Thank you for sticking with us on the battlefield. Listen to Chris and Trey from Lanterns Radio Network, WGSO 990 AM.
I'm really proud of President Obama.
Yeah, me too. If you want to talk about that, you can give us a call, 504-556-9696. And why are you proud of Barry?
Well, I mean, you heard the news. I mean, we just got finished listening to the news. He is single-handedly attempting to fix the black family.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one?
Well, he released like 200 and something prisoners today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 214 inmates. He commuted their sentences today. And since he's in his 7.5 years, he's commuted 562 prisoners, which is more than the previous 9 presidents combined. And 197 of those, bro, were lifers.
So from what I'm understanding, the ones that he did today, it's the most in one day since 1900.
Well, that's just according to the White House. But yes, I mean, single-handedly trying to fundamentally restore the black family.
Yeah, and of course our American principles and the law, you know?
Yeah. All right, so conservatism as told by Ben Shapiro, right?
Okay, let's hear this.
Okay, so, you know, Trump being Trump is kind of something that we hear all the time now. Every few days, Ben says Trump does something more inexplicable, so morally and politically reprehensible, that conservatives end up stunned. And yet, Trump keeps having these Donald being Donald moments, and we're just supposed to, you know, laugh them off. And we know all the things from the Gold Star this week to the mother of the slain soldier. He attacked not one but 2 fire marshals, said Vladimir Putin had not invaded Ukraine. I mean, according to Ben, Trump just simply can't stop himself, right? There's no stopping Trump. You can only hope to contain him. Now, if we scroll down just a little bit, he says the conservatives are now under heavy pressure to pull the lever for Trump. And their 2 main arguments advanced by Trump voters. First, that Trump will be better than Hillary Clinton. Second, that anyone who refuses to vote for Trump bears moral responsibility for Hillary Clinton's subsequent presidency. Now, he and Ben is great at his arguments. If you don't follow Ben, I know you do, Chris, but if you don't out there listening, follow Ben Shapiro. You've got to, because you turned me on to Ben, actually. And so
I didn't do it like that.
No, the first argument seems deceptively simple. You got 2 candidates, and that Trump will not be as awful a president as Hillary. But
he likes using awful and terrible.
Ben does?
Terrible is his favorite word, and hilarious.
Hilarious?
Yes, he says hilarious.
All right. Because you listen to his podcast, right?
Yes.
So we know Hillary's going to be a terrible, hardcore, ideological leftist. Terrible. There you go. And there's probably a 75% chance that Trump would govern less badly than Hillary. But there's also a 25% chance, according to Ben Shapiro, that Trump would do something so catastrophically awful that he'd seriously harm the country in ways that Hillary wouldn't even dream of. And he points to his trade policy alone could cast America back into a recession. His foreign policy is in shambles. Any talk of him listening to advisors must be based on conjecture. So far, Trump hasn't just been a bull in the china closet. He's been a tank in a glass factory, right? All right. So, but let's grant.
I'm still not getting the good stuff yet.
Here's the good stuff. Let's grant that governing in superior fashion to Hillary Clinton, it's a low bar, but that Trump is likely to surpass it. And Ben says that brings us to the real reason to oppose Trump's candidacy, to attempt to turn the conservative movement into a nationalist populist one, complete with shilling for Trump's incomprehensible decisions and statements. If you believe that the only solution to America's problem is true conservatism, and we do here at the Battlefield Live,
right?
Your greatest fear is not a Hillary presidency. For me, it's not. I've told you both on air and off air that I feel like we're prepared for a Hillary presidency.
Yeah.
Right?
In fact, our radio show will probably do much better. Actually, it maybe do much better in both.
No, we're good either way on radio. Remember, we've joked that we're secure in radio while the country burns down.
As long as we're not doing radio from a jail cell.
Correct. Here's what Ben says. It's the perversion of the conservative movement itself, the corruption of conservatism in favor of power. Hillary Clinton's presidency does not snuff out conservatism, even though it does provide a serious danger to the republic. Trump's presidency does. It does serve as like a danger to the conservative movement. So why? Because Ben says conservatives are already tailoring their morality, their decency, and political sense to fit Trumpism. Now, we've already seen supposed conservative thought leaders go silent when Trump does something unthinkable. We've already seen his Chris Shinebox Christie, the Rince, the Enforcer Priebus, and Newt, dude who stole my VP slot, Gingrich, embrace the Trump or bust logic that puts conservatism under the wheels of the Trump train. And that's to be expected. But Ben says, I've watched conservatives I respect justify Trump's latest moral and political atrocities with alacrity?
Alacrity, yeah. It's like hilarity.
Okay, so they downplay his enormous heresies and his moral failings because, after all, Hillary Clinton's still out there. Delinda est, whatever that means, okay? Latin for something.
Dude, he is his brain is probably twice as big as Newt's.
It's unbelievable, okay? So we go down a little bit further, and he basically says that whole argument that you got to support him is it's hogwash. And here's where I agree totally. Conservatives don't owe their vote to anyone. I've said time and time again.
Oh! You just bailed me.
Well, I don't want to speak. I don't want to speak for you.
All right.
But I've said I just want him to want my vote. Like, I'm definitely #never Hillary. And if I want to beat Hillary, Trump probably represents the best choice for me to beat Hillary, okay?
Well, I mean, we could vote for a cucumber, and most likely Trump will win Louisiana.
Correct. Okay. So here's what he says. He says the argument that your vote is important, it just simply isn't that important. The argument that if you don't vote Trump, you're electing Hillary is, of course, logically flawed, and we've gone through that before. If I don't vote for Hillary, am I electing Trump? But it ignores the fact that each individual vote counts in America as basically nearly nothing. Like, if you're like him, a conservative living in California, it actually does count for nothing. Now, those of us who won't vote for Trump keep hearing that constant refrain that your vote means everything. But what Trump supporters really mean when they say that the failure to vote for Trump is a vote for Hillary is that anything we do that doesn't help Trump harms him.
Right.
In other words, if we're the only morally decent people out there if we simply don't turn into full-scale Trump defenders. Like, you and I know people very, very close to us who were hashtag never Trump. And then when Trump got the nomination, now they're hashtag Trump train.
Yeah, well, they're huge Trump fans now.
Right? So, like, but if you stay to your principles and you don't actively turn into a full-scale Trump defender, then, like, you're not supporting Donald Trump, basically, if you don't become a Trumpkin.
Right.
Right? So, and like, if you say anything, if you point out that, like, say, Trump's attack on the Khan family is both stupid and morally debased, well, that puts you in a league with Hillary. How many times when we were pointing out things on Trump on other stations, people in chat rooms were like, oh, these guys are closet liberals. They're for Hillary. Just go ahead and vote for Hillary already, dude.
Yeah.
And so if we state that Trump ought to spend less time cozying up to Vladimir Putin, I mean, these guys are practically spooning with each other. The more time standing up to him, then, we're Clinton files. Right? So this is the danger. This is the point that he makes. So here's, if you go all the way to the end of this, toward the end, he says, we could support Romney. We even could support McCain, even though they had their issues. But Trump asked you for something more, your political soul. And that's what I've been trying to, I couldn't figure it out, but that's the thing. I am not willing to give up my political soul to be out there actively supporting a guy that I completely disagree with. Might I vote for him to prevent Hillary? Yeah. But I am not going to go out there and actively, push this guy when everything he stands for, his moral shortcomings, everything, and they're nearly infinite.
So you're now on the same plane as I am.
Well, good. And when we come back, we'll talk more about that. 504-556-9696. It's the Battlefield Live on WGSO, 990 AM.
Millions of people are asking the question, what has happened to America? Is there hope? What will our children and grandchildren face in years to come? America, there is hope. The same hope expressed by the colonists in 1607 when they placed a cross on the Virginia shore, proclaiming, "In God we trust." In God we trust. It's still our hope. It's our future. It's our national motto. Go to InGodWeTrust.com and get your hope today.
Experience Augie's, formerly Augie's Glass Garden, now in Harahan. Augie's, truly a gorgeous place. Where can you go to experience super jumbo soft-shell crabs for only $14.95 and the area's largest seafood platters? Private parties, receptions, reunions, and events of all types can be handled at Augie's. 6005 Jefferson Highway in Harahan. Call for reservations 733-3000. Check us out on the web, augiesnola.com. Playmakers Indoor Sports is a state-of-the-art indoor turf facility offering leagues, drop-in play, field rental, parties, camps, clinics, and a whole bunch more. Play includes adult and youth in soccer, lacrosse, flag football, and more. For more information, go to www.playmakersindoor.com. Like us on Facebook at Playmakers Indoors South. 6124 Jefferson Highway, Harahan, Louisiana, 504-305-6078.
Are you looking for a reasonable and affordable way to enhance your image or your company's image on the internet? Are you looking for ways to leverage internet technology to streamline your business? An upgraded website or web application is the way to go. Vast Virtual Solutions is a technology company that specializes in developing websites that operate on the cutting edge with the ability to save you and your business time and money. Visit vastvirtual.com for a business quote today. vastvirtual.com.
What are you doing to stop traffic? When your business is ready to wow the pants off customers, visit Sir Speedy. We produce quality signs, posters, banners, and more that are just a trick for trade shows, promotions, events, and product launches. Whether you're taking it to the street, the floor, or the counter, bigger is always better. For more information or to get a quote, go to SirSpeedyNewOrleans.com.
Did you ever think that the presumptive Republican nominee for President of the United States would have similar policy and suggestions as the Democratic Socialist candidate.
I never thought that a Republican candidate for president would hold both liberal and conservative policies at the same time.
Right.
I mean,
Like
this is totally
gyroscope.
fascinating. Visit the website battlefield.buzz for the latest from Chris and Trey from the Battlefield Live radio show. Thank you for calling us on the Battlefield. So we take a couple callers here. We got Phil on line one. What's going on, Phil?
Good evening, brothers and sisters. Do you know why Barack Obama is releasing all these hardcore killers into the streets?
No, but I'm sure you're going to tell us, Phil.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you right now, because he needs more zombie thug killers to kill innocent policemen doing their job to protect me and you and others at convenience stores, pizzerias, cab places, bus stops, auditoriums, movie theaters, and all of that stuff. He needs a whole lot more because they're going to try to destroy this country as far as you know it. I'm here to help you fix the machine. If you haven't seen Hillary Clinton's America yet, you better go see it real soon because it'll help you see what they have plans for us to do. And I want to tell you something, brothers and sisters. They have turned the Department of Motor Vehicles into the Department of Mexican and Muslim voting. That's how they plan to throw the election. Recently, I went to Officer David Michelle's funeral in Baton Rouge, okay? And I went to a lot of other places like Biloxi, Mississippi, Houston, Houma, and other places here in Kenner and Meadow, Louisiana. And guess what? There's all kinds of Mexicans and Muslims registering to vote at those places over there. And they're going to receive in the mail Mexican and Muslim voting cards so they can take away all of your rights. So wake up.
What you think of that, Trey? Yeah! All right, so we got Rusty on line, too. What's going on, Rusty? How you doing today?
Well, pretty good. Listen, I was listening to your reasons for not voting for Trump. Mine pretty much comes down to one reason, that is, I don't see myself merely as a conservative. I see myself as a person who's a Christian, and I want to make sure that he protects the rights of Christians. I see the world getting worse, progressively worse, and that these politicians can't stand up to the pop culture, politically correct pop culture any longer, and that includes Donald Trump. But if he can assure me by November that he will protect my rights as a Christian, because I see this homosexual overtures that he's making, and it seems like he might decide to side with homosexuals over Christian rights.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, Rusty. Is there anything at this point that leads you or gives you that sort of confidence so far?
That's why I'm saying I might vote for him, and because the alternative is Hillary. But on the other hand, if he shows me by November he is not going to protect Christian rights over those of the LGBT community, that he's going down that road, then I know he's not going to protect my rights.
So what rights are you talking about, Rusty, specifically on the homosexual?
For example, I'm a little concerned that people are going to be forced, like caterers and florists and so on, to cater, to provide services for the homosexual community that goes against their conscience. And once that starts happening, I think Christians will become a target. This whole thing about homosexuality is almost as though these people have been suppressed and oppressed and persecuted for generations, and that Christians are standing in the way. The Christians are the reason they're making these people victims. And I see, if this continues, we will become the villains in this country. And that he might, since he's so involved in worldly matters, Donald Trump, he might put them in front of Christians, which might destroy our rights and our religious liberties. And that's what concerns me with this man. I don't expect the world to get better. I see our country deteriorating spiritually and so on. But if he can prove to me by November that he will do that, if he's not concerned with that, and that's how most people are saying, he's not really concerned with that kind of issue, I may not be so motivated, but I'm going to keep watching for the next 3 months.
Rusty, what if he doesn't? What if that evidence never manifests and never comes up?
It shows me that he is so determined to be concerned with the homosexual community over my rights. I'm not. Listen, I'll fight the terrorists in the street. I'll fight the thugs in the street on my own. That's the kind of things he's been promising us, borders and stuff like that, which motivated me to like Donald Trump, the immigration issues. But I'd rather fight that right on my own than to endorse someone who might end up being the worst nightmare for Christians in this country.
Would you, if he doesn't provide the evidence between now and November, would you
vote for him?
Would you but would you consider voting third party or just not voting at all?
I consider voting maybe the Constitutional Party or something like that. I would. If I could say one more thing before you go, I know you're coming to a close. We need. I've heard other people say this, including Mark Levine and others. We need to put this guy's feet to the fire. If anything, we need to do as Christians is tell him we will not support you if you're not going to be interested in our interests.
That's right.
Nobody seems to be doing that. You guys were saying that a few minutes ago. You can't say anything against Trump,
right,
without somebody coming back and saying you're a liberal or you're on the Democratic ticket.
Right.
They need to wake up. They need to mature, because if they're concerned about these issues too, then they need to say, hey, let's pressure Donald Trump
right,
to make sure that when he gets in, he does the things he says and not turn on the people that put him in there.
Thank you, Rusty. I appreciate the phone call.
Thank you.
Chris, what do you think? What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, one of the things that I think there's a big a misnomer, and I think Rusty touched on it. And one of the things that so if I look at Rusty's comments about homosexual rights over the rights of Christians,
mm-hmm.
I know what he's saying. I understand what he's saying, and I asked him that question specifically because I knew that the whole explanation was going to come out. But liberals would jump all over him and say, well, you don't think that Christians should have the same rights as homosexuals or vice versa. And that's what Rusty would say, well, that's not what I mean. The point is that, and I think he said it in the second statement, is that homosexuals have not been persecuted in this country.
Correct.
I mean, there isn't some. It's not like African Americans in the 1800s that were being held as slaves.
Even as the best example, was it Matthew Shepard? Even that turned out years later to be some big hoax.
Yeah. So I mean, are there people out there that are homophobic, quote unquote? Of course there are. Are there people out there that are Christians that do not agree with the lifestyles of homosexuals?
Hopefully.
I would be one of them.
Yeah.
Okay. That doesn't mean I don't have friends that are homosexuals.
I have aunts that are gay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that doesn't mean that we, that doesn't mean that we hate them. In fact, we pray for them.
Correct.
So the point is that the media has skewed this. The politicians have skewed this for class warfare purposes, and the fact is that Christians are nervous because the rights of a homosexual are being put above Christian rights because they align with the religion of the left,
right? Which
is secular humanism, which is to destroy Christianity because it's a competing religion. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely, dude. We know secular humanism is a religion. We know it's a set of beliefs that people hold to, and in the same way, it requires even more faith for you to believe that there is no God than somebody who has the faith to believe that there is God.
And the thing is homosexuality is simply a vehicle. It's being used. No different than Black Lives Matter being used. No
That's
different
right.
than environmentalists
That's
being used.
That's exactly what the left does.
To destroy, they're utilizing it to destroy capitalism, to destroy the West,
right,
and most of all, to destroy the biblical worldview and Christianity.
You got it, brother.
We strong, baby. We are strong.
You nailed it on the end there. I mean, you put a nice exclamation point on another great show. That wraps up the Wednesday edition of the Battlefield Live with Chris and Trey. Check out lanterns.buzz. Go to radio.battlefield.buzz. And, of course, follow Chris at Paul Revere again, and follow me at TRob Radio. Just go to any sort of internet browser, search engine, or whatever. Type in the hashtag #LanternsBuzz, and you will be ushered into all that we do on the Lanterns Radio Network. And we will be back here 22 hours from now. We'll be back on WGSO 990 AM. Good night, Nola.
As I went through school, one giant question loomed over me.